everyone, I'm Ipalmi and welcome back to my channel. Today I want to chat about the priority games that I have for 2023, meaning the games I really am hoping to get to in 2023 and get to play for the first time or finish, I think. Actually, no, I have no games that I've started, which is kind of dumb. But I only have games that I want to start but also finish, and then I should also focus on the games that I've started and not finished yet, but you know, we're not talking about that right now. So I'm holding these both up because they're both either for the Nintendo Switch or for my Steam Deck, meaning PC. Really, that's really all I play on, but I play mainly on my Steam Deck if I can get away with it, because I just love coming home after work in the evening and grabbing one of my handheld consoles, laying on a couch and playing my game and watching some TV and just really decompress, because I'm an introvert and it takes all of my energy to just go to work. So yeah, these are the main consoles, I guess, platforms, whatever, that I'll be talking about. So the first game on my list is a Nintendo Switch game, and it is Fire Emblem Three Houses. So I just want to really get back into the Fire Emblem franchise. I have also started playing Fire Emblem Warriors on my Switch recently, and it's really fun, but it's different from the actual Fire Emblem franchise as far as I can tell. This is like in collaboration with the Warriors franchise or whatever, so it's more hack and slash and stuff, which is really fun, don't get me wrong. But I also want to get into the classic Fire Emblem games, and I think Three Houses is a really great one to start with, and I do also believe we have Three Hopes after that one, and there's another game coming in 2023, so there's definitely enough to get into. So Fire Emblem is like a turn-based strategy kind of jrpg game, and the franchise itself is actually quite old already, and I first played my very first Fire Emblem game actually on mobile. I don't remember what it's called, but I think it still exists, and maybe I want to download it again. It was really fun just pulling for the heroes and doing the turn-based stuff. And so then I discovered that it was actually on the 3DS, which I owned and loved. So I bought Fire Emblem Awakening, I think, for the 3DS, and I got really obsessed with it. I really loved it. So I also really liked the characters. I liked that there was a little bit of a story behind it, and what I really loved was that I could match up these characters together and see if they had like kind of good synergy together, and if they leveled up together, their personal relationships would also get better. And I remember being able to matchmake them, and I hope that's still in these games. And I've just watched the trailer so many times now. The characters just look stunning. I love the art style for this so much. The characters look so unique, and yeah, that has just got me really excited. So I recently bought the game on sale from the eShop, so I'm very excited to start playing it in 2023. Next we have another JRPG on the Switch, and it's Xenoblade Chronicles 1, like the definitive edition. I bought Xenoblade Chronicles 2. I've talked about it so many times now on this channel, but if you haven't heard me talk about it yet, I bought the second one. I'm not really sure why I bought the second one. Maybe the first one hadn't come to the Switch yet or something, so I thought it was the only one. I don't know. Anyway, I ended up buying it on sale though. I started playing it, I really enjoyed it, but due to some personal circumstances, I put it down and never just picked it back up again. So I've been feeling the itch to pick it back up, but I thought I have to play the first one first and just go in order. I just think it's best. So I bought the first one and the third one, so now I really have to play them, but I know I'll enjoy them because I already played for like 15 hours the second one, and I really like that, so I don't really foresee any problems. This is just like a super expensive JRPG with a great storyline again, and I think it also has a very interesting combat system because you have these different sort of swords that are also characters. They're very hot, and you can like sort of collect them through a sort of gacha system again, at least in the second one, and they have like different fighting styles. So that was all very interesting, but the story itself is what really interests me the most, and I do believe that like you can play for 100 hours or something, and there's so many side quests, so there's tons of content to get out of these games. Speaking of games with a lot of content, we have another Switch game and another like visual novel JRPG kind of game, and I want to play Persona 5 Royal. I recently bought it again on sale, and I am just so interested in it. One of my former colleagues that I'm still friends with really recommended it to me. He loves it. I know in general like my community has recommended it to me. You guys I mean, most of you guys anyway seem to love it. So many people love it, so I'm just excited to check it out. I don't know, I think there's also dating stuff involved, which I always really love. The art style is so unique to me. I think it looks stunning, so that's definitely what's drawing me into. I think the concept of like the visual novel, but then you also have like the dungeons, all that stuff just sounds very interesting.
I'm going all in with Cendrillon! Look at that!
Okay, going back to my roots, have to mention a cozy game on the Switch, although I do believe you can also play it on PC, Ooblets. So I remember seeing Ooblets a couple of years ago and I was just so annoyed that I couldn't play it on the Switch, but a couple of months ago it did get ported to the Switch, which has me really happy because I just really like playing cozy games handheld. I just think it's just the perfect thing to do. So I bought it and I just never played it. I haven't had time to start it off with all of the games in my backlog. I'm sure you recognize it. So it's still waiting for me, but it looks so adorable. You have all these cute little ooblets that I think you can collect and they're just so cute. I love the art, but I've also seen so many funny things, like the dialogue is very like snarky and funny. So that's really interesting to me. I think you get to do some farming and all of that fun stuff, and your ooblets can have a little dance battle. This looks like such a fun game, and I think the reviews have overall been very positive too, so I just need to pick it up in between all of these hefty jrpgs on my list. Next up we have another game that I have on the Switch and I need to talk about an Otome game, of course. Talked about Otome games in previous videos too, but if you don't know what they are basically like visual novels but like dating sims. They have romantic aspects, and one I really want to play is Color X Malice. This is like such a classic Otome game. So many people have played this and it looks great. I love the art style personally. That's always a really big thing for me, drawing me into games in general, but especially dating sims or like visual novels, because I have to look at it so much, you know, I have to look at the characters. I really like this one because it has like a detective story behind it. I think you're like a policewoman or something solving crimes, so I think the story is also going to be really interesting. So I'm definitely into that, and I've just heard nothing but great things. It's always, when I see people asking for Otome recommendations, people are always saying, if you haven't played Color X Malice yet, you really should. It's like such a classic. So I have to play it, obviously. So that's on my list for next year. Then another game that I own the first one on the Switch and the second one on the Steam Deck. So I guess I can compare how they run and my overall experience. But Atelier Ryza, I really want to play. Ryza, I think, has really popularized the Atelier series so much. She's a very beloved character because thick thighs save lives. I also do think that they've really expanded the franchise a lot with her like series, with these newest installments. There's so much more to do in like this open world style, and it just looks stunning. And of course they always come up with unique alchemy systems and battle systems, so I'm very excited to try that out. So if you haven't watched my previous video yet, then you won't know, but if you have watched, you'll know that one of my favorite games to play that I still need to finish up is Atelier Sophie for this year. So I want to play more of the Atelier games, and I'm just specifically really looking forward to Ryza. Last game on my list is another Otome game that I have on Steam Deck, and it's Hakuoki. And this is actually now split up into two different games, but you have to play them together. You can just like play the second game. I think it's just a continuation of the first one. And I do also believe that it is like the same game that was on the 3DS, and that's the one I actually played back in the day. It was my first Otome game that I've ever played, and I didn't know it was an Otome game back then. I was just like, oh, it is cool. There's dating, there's like a story here, what's this? So yeah, that's how I rolled into that one back then. But I think it's like that game but with tons more content added to it. So it's really cheap on Steam right now, and it was recently on sale and I got it for like €5. So I was really excited to buy that, and now I'm really excited to play it. I really like the setting for that one, the more like rural ancient not ancient Japan, but like historical Japan, I guess. I only remember little bits of it, but I know the story is the biggest thing in this one. I do believe it focuses more on story than on the romantic elements, although they certainly are there. And I'm just excited. It's another classic that I just really want to check out. I feel like a lot of these on my list are just staples in that genre that I really want to check out. So yeah, that's it for my list for games I want to give priority to. Definitely want to start playing in 2023, and who knows, hopefully finish them. Thank you for watching. Let me know what your games are. What games are you looking forward to in 2023? I'm only talking right now, of course, about games I already own and have already been released, but definitely tell me, are there newer releases you're looking forward to? I would love to know. If you like this video, don't forget to subscribe if you want to, and you can also join my Discord server or follow any of my social media. It's all linked in my description box down below, and I will see you in my next video. Bye bye.